For him.
Hi, my name is Joshua here, and I'm going to be telling a story. It's titled Caught Stealing. So the room was quiet. We're all standing in the room, me, my mother, and my nana. And I'm staring at the hospital bed. And in the bed is my papa. And he's laying there. He looks weaker than I've ever seen him. And the only way to truly describe it is like he looks weak and frail and tired and beaten up. And it's the weakest I've ever seen him, because he's always been a very strong man in my life. He's done lots of things. Like he was in the Navy for 4 years. He went from Hawaii to Indonesia. He's traveled everywhere. He worked very hard to support his family, from odd jobs like being an electrician to being a technician, a plumber, working on cars, painting. At one point, he used to shovel coal out of a freight train or something like that. He used to do all these sorts of things to help keep his family afloat. So he's a role model to me, a real rugged American, if you will. So to see him lying in that hospital bed was probably a big turning point in my life. And it was cancer. It was kidney cancer he had. He was battling it for a long time. And to jump from that, probably a year and a half from that to the plot of this story, the time of this story. So he's in remission now at this time of the story. He did beat it after 2 grueling years, God bless. And so we're all sitting there, sitting around, and we're at my nana's there. It's a beautiful day, sun's beating down on us, and we're talking, because this is the year anniversary of when they said he was in remission. So we wanted to go out and celebrate, eat some pizza, have dinner, just the 4 of us. And we're all on the deck, we're talking about my papa's life, talking about him, his marriage to my nana, just gossip that's going on. We're all just kind of getting lost. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And next thing you know, there's a little rustling out in the woods. But we think nothing of it, because they have a cat. The cat's out there chasing birds. Cat's declawed, the poor thing, so he can't claw the birds. He just goes and he tries to bite, and he wraps his paws around the birds. They all fly away. He thinks it's hilarious. And then the next thing you know, smash! And then glass shatters to the neighbors right next to us. My papa, without skipping a beat, he just gets up and he starts jogging right over there to the house. I'm like 13 at this time. I'm like, whoa. So I just get up and I jog right after him. 20 seconds, not even 20 seconds, we're at the house. There's glass all on the ground, before us, glass everywhere. We look up. Probably from me to that door right behind John, there's a window, and there's 2 men, 2 young men, trying to climb into a window. My papa, he just kind of looks, he stands there, and he's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And the 2 men, they get startled. So they get out of the window, and they just turn around, and they look at us. And they're speechless. They're like me, right? Speechless. And he says it again. What the fuck are you doing? Who are you guys? What are you doing? And the 2 men, they're staring, they're speechless. So there's glass all below us, remember that. My papa, 66 years old, he's a cancer survivor, he's pretty small, he's weak at this point. He takes 2 large steps, puffs his chest out, and looks them straight in the eyes. And one of the men, quickly, they go on the ground, they hold out a piece of glass, pointing right at him. And they yell, stay back, and they start moving back, slowly. So my papa and I, we're like frozen. I'm just like in the back, I don't want to do this. And my papa's just standing there, holding his ground. He didn't move forward. The 2 men, both still moving back. One of them has the piece of glass, and he chucks it right at my papa's chest, and they book it. They just hightail it out of there. The glass hits him dull side first in the chest, instantly starts sprinting I shit you not, sprinting right after them. And they're all running, 30, 40 feet towards the edge of the woods. My papa, 10 feet behind them. The two young men, there's a fence. Once they hit the edge of the woods, it's like 10 feet high. They're like probably your height, Jeremy's height. And they see the fence, they just book it right over the fence, no hesitation. And they look back, they see my papa and myself. We're winded, we're chasing them, and they just keep going right out into the woods. Keep going. My papa, he's not going to make it over that fence, and I'm 13, I'm not chasing them on my own, you crazy? So he looks at me, he's like, damn it, let's go. So we go back to his house, we get in his car, and we speed off. He informs me they're going to a cemetery, the back of a cemetery, because he's lived, this is Haverhill, Massachusetts, he's lived there for a long time. So we go there, he hands me a phone, and he says, dial 911. Tell them there's an attempted break-in, where we are, and what is happening. Straight in the face, just tells me that. And I look at him, I'm kind of like shuddering, I'm like, okay. He gets out of the car. Brave as a lion, he just jogs right into that cemetery. No shit, scared, just right into there. And has anyone ever dialed 911 before? Anyone?
It's pretty stressful.
Yeah. It took them a solid 45 seconds, 45 seconds to pick up the phone. So if you're like you're at like gunpoint, you're in an emergency situation, you need someone, forget it. I swear to God, it's insane. So I finally get on the phone with him. I'm like stammering through my words, telling him what's happened. She calms me down. She sends me a cruiser. 2 or 3 minutes has gone by since my papa's gone into the cemetery. Cruiser arrives. He's a sharp-dressed officer. He comes up, asks what's happening. I explain everything. There was a break-in. My papa chased them. He's in the cemetery. Please help him. And he looks at me, giving me this very weird look. And he just turns around, murmurs something on his radio, and then jogs right into the cemetery, handheld right on his holster. I am just in shock, terrified. I'm still in the passenger seat of the car. 30 seconds after, the officer comes out. The two hoodlums apprehended in cuffs right at his side. They're literally beaten and bloody. One of the men, you could see, like his eyes swollen shut and blood is dripping down from his face. And the other one has blood like on his chest, and they're physically beaten. And behind them, my papa starts walking out, head held high, hands on his hips, just walking out, just like this, right behind them. The two men are put into the cruiser. A few more officers showed up. They questioned my papa. They observed him, made sure he was okay, and investigated what was happening, shook his hand, and he went on his way. And he got into the car, and he drove us home. Obviously, I asked, what happened? And all he says is, in any type of battle that I'm in, I'll do whatever it takes, and I will win.
Nice.